welcome back. We're here with the phenomenal cast of On the Way Up Atlanta Season 3. Give it up for yourselves. Yes, so we're going to jump right into it. Let's get to the work and the business. So, Ebony, we saw that you had a chance to work with Mark with the Q. What has transpired with the film that you guys were working on together?
So I unfortunately didn't get a chance to do the film with Mark. We had a couple of rehearsals and our schedules just didn't align because at first it was a lot of rehearsals and then the filming schedule, he sent out a filming schedule and it was a time where I was moving, so I didn't get to do it, but I did see that he filmed something. I'm not sure if it was the film that we were gonna do, but it kind of aligned with the schedule he sent me. So I feel like I didn't get to do the film, but I'm glad to see that he's still out there producing.
That's great. And, you know, being a part of that scene, you also witnessed Mark being fired and how production had to handle that situation. So I'm sure that was uncomfortable for you as well. And like, hey, where's my spot? Do I speak up? Do I not? So do you feel like things could have been handled differently?
I feel like I think maybe things could have been handled differently, but at the same time, I'm just now getting on the cast. This person has been here and has a different relationship with other people on production, and I feel like whatever the outcome is, I feel like it's probably for the greater good of everyone involved.
Right. I believe so. Trey, you started off with Mark season 1 and season 2. How did you feel seeing him leave the group?
It was the exchange was uncomfortable to watch. Mark and Devontae's relationship is kind of similar to me and Devontae's relationship. You know, love hate. You know, but it's at the end of the day, y'all are still friends, and as far as I know, they are still friends. And so, it was just uncomfortable to watch because I feel like maybe in a different environment, that conversation would have gone a different way.
You know what you want to do? Because at the end of the day, I have to produce the show. This is my job. This is what I'm trying to do. I have to make sure storylines connect. I have to make sure things connect. Whatever you say and however you respond. No. Just let me talk.
Because you know, if nobody
understands,
let me talk, Mark. I understand. I'm in the film thing, so I get
yeah, but it's like, but you only want to do what you want to do. You don't want to do
what I want to do.
Anything
but
pertaining
when you tell
to
me that I don't have to be involved in group stuff, it's not mandatory, or I don't have to go to this to go to that. Why is it that now? Because I didn't go to it, I have to hear about it, and now it's like, oh, well, you didn't go to it, so we got to bring it up. That's kind of what you just said.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to make it easier. I don't think that I want your part of the show anymore. Yeah, that's my executive decision. I type up something and we can just go from there. Yeah.
Friday, you had the pleasure of working with Mark. Do you wish he would have stayed on the show?
No, not at all. Because he didn't want to be here. So, I mean, otherwise the exchange would have been different. You know, like, he knows the circumstance of how this environment, even myself, you know, there are times where everybody here gets on my nerves. But I choose to come back or choose to sit here or whatever the thing is my choice. So, you know, you can't really control the world. So it's either you are going to be there or don't be there. When I don't feel like being around people, I won't. When I don't feel like inviting people, I won't. You know, so I don't wish for him to do something that he never really wanted to do in the first place. Because he was already 1 foot out the door, and he still does his productions. Me and him still work together. We did, you know, a video together, and it turned out really good, even though that situation happened like right before that. But I said we're gonna stay the course, you know. And my conversation with him when he talked about it, you know, I'm like, if this is what you want to do, because you know, me and him are friends. If your situation doesn't line up with staying around, then don't stay around. Like, why act like you want to be there? You know, but you can't control the narrative. Like, these people shouldn't be having these conversations around me. Just don't. Like, exactly what happened is exactly what needed to happen.
Yeah, it's like it goes with the territory.
Yeah, like it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
These conversations, you put a group of people together, you're going to get different energy, you're gonna get different attitudes, and it's like either you can sit through it, push forward, network within the group, or not. You don't have to be around everybody all the time. But Kamori, you were a newcomer this season, and we saw you introduced to a few of the cast members at the mall. Did you and Phil know each other before the show? Because Phil kind of acted like he didn't know you or meet you prior to meeting at the mall.
Yeah, me and Phil met a year ago. Phil actually auditioned to be on the show I put on YouTube, Let's Talk About It, that Trey was a part of. Phil actually auditioned to be on my panel for that. So me and Phil, I'm not gonna say knew each other, but we knew of each other. He auditioned, we talked on FaceTime. I think we cracked a joke or two. So that, he knew me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is that about? Now, this is my question. What is that about, like, coming into certain situations? Is it because you're trying to see if does this person remember me or don't remember me? Are they going to be shady towards me? So I'm going to act like I don't know them. So you've already built these assumptions of how this person is going to feel about you. So it's better to be like, oh, nice to meet you again.
So I don't want to speak on Phil, but from our community of how we be shady, that's shady. Of how we navigate, that's shady. When you know you have met a person, you audition for this person thing, and then you walk up to the person like, oh my God, so nice to meet you, how are you? Girl, we didn't met a year ago, we didn't talk, we followed each other on Instagram, like, you're being shady. That's that kind of, in our community, that kind of, like, when you do that to somebody, kind of like putting you above them, like, oh bitch, I don't know you, I don't see you. So, yes, but Phil can answer himself, but from my perspective, yeah, he was being shady, of course.
I can see how you could take that perspective. So, Mayday, Brandon continued to say throughout the season, Kamori was never supposed to be here. How do you feel about that statement? Like, Kamori was just showing up to these things. Who is he?
I mean, me and Kamori had a conversation the day of Trey's listening, and I told him that before I knew the ins and outs of whether he was invited by production or whatever, I thought it was weird that he was there, at the bowling alley, because I was like, okay, we have this amount of people. I didn't hear anything about this circumstance, but now that we find out at the end, that it was never initially supposed to be that way, but the situation, kind of brought him in. It's just like, it is what it is. Like, maybe he was not initially a cast member, but when you do stuff or you're in certain circumstances, he needed a platform to speak for himself. So why not allow that?
Right. And now a question for OG. How many people have you seen production bring throughout the show that were just friends of the show, and then you see them and they're lingering a little longer? How many times have you saw that happen?
That's one hell of a question.
Because you're OG, so I gotta ask an OG question. So it's not a surprise to everybody that we just put these things together and we just invite random people.
No, baby, they filter in and out.
So wait, are we talking about my situation or are we talking about in general?
We're talking in general.
Okay,
general, yeah.
Okay, because I just want to make sure we were clear on my situation.
No, I've seen Devontae invite quite a few different people, and not just him. Multiple different people in this friend circle have invited people around that either stay or don't, or stay and shouldn't. But it's been a few. Quite a few.
Okay. So
Hell, last season we had 10 people on the main cast.
I think some people lose the perspective of what the show is truly about. I know it gets lost in the sauce with the drama. It's on the way up Atlanta. It's about bringing people together who, production, myself, we feel like y'all gonna get together and y'all gonna make magic. So if we know somebody and we introduce you to these people, it's not that like Kamori is some random, but everybody is coming together in hopes that we see you guys create something together. No matter if they stay one episode, 3 cookouts, it don't matter. It's always to bring more and more people in so you are exposed, they are exposed, and it's an opportunity. So Brandon, with that being said, you being a newcomer, just toe barely in the door. At Nitro Zone, your question was, why is he here? Why is Kamori here? Why did you feel like that was so important to know why he was there and Trey wasn't with him?
Because I just knew he was like a friend of the show. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting to see Trey. I didn't know nothing about Kimura. You know what I'm saying? I thought he literally was a friend of the show. I didn't know about a B cast. I didn't know about an A cast or anything like that.
So, with that being said, you also didn't know Keenan. He was there. Yeah. You also brought a +1.
Yeah, but my people, Keenan, they stayed not in their place, but they didn't give it no energy. Like, wasn't trying to look for a moment. They wasn't asking no shady questions. They wasn't doing none of that. My people was silent. I did bring people, yeah.
So, you think Kamori was looking for a moment?
I mean, I just know that the whole little situation was premeditated. They talked about it.
Girl, wrong rule.
It came, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happened, yeah.
Shed light, Kamori.
What was premeditated?
Your conversation before.
So I premeditated you pulling up somebody's YouTube page to see how many views he have. I went in your phone.
Like y'all had a conversation, so when you came
baby,
in,
my reaction was
you
got a reaction off your action.
You know how to be shady and shit like that. You know
of course, I'm a queen. I'm not going to share this. Of course, I take full accountability for that.
That's all.
But I'm grown. I didn't make you pull out your phone, pull out somebody's YouTube page, and talk about them.
No, I did it myself.
Correct. So don't say it was a pre-planned or anything.
I didn't say that you made me do that. I said that you
know but you said it like pre-planned. It was not pre-planned.
Before you came there.
You were alone as an adult who decided to pull up a YouTube page, and I made my.
I did all that. But I'm saying, as far as you coming in the scene.
But Brandon,
you got that already talked.
You brought a +1.
You know what I'm saying? You already knew the situation.
So first of all, production already said everybody started off as a good cast member. You brought a +1. They had about 5 more +1s there. But y'all, you and your big ass friend will make confused on why the fuck I was there.
She stayed in her place and remained silent.
Bitch, I don't care if the camera love me. I'm a personality. I have a personality, girl. I'm sorry, you're fucking boring. I have a personality, so the camera wanted to pay attention to me. It fucking paid attention to me.
Have a personality.
You and your friend met me prior to that and still decided to get on fucking camera and figure out, oh, why is Kimura there? Bitch, you just met me. You brought +1s. I'm supposed to be here. That's a fucking bullshit ass narrative, and I'm not here for it at all.
Well, you were.
I say what I said. I'm done with that. You
were
go back to the next question because we're not gonna. You can go.
We were told he wasn't part of the show at first.
Oh, that's what. So again, so it could be part of the thing. You probably was told that, but then he told you in your reflection notes, I'm here. So when you saw him here, but you still went ahead and kept doing it, right?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let Nebraska speak.
I just want to know because I'm a little nosy. So Stray didn't go. Like, who did invite you?
Production, sweetie. If we're on.
Oh well, look. There you go. Your answer right there. Look, production.
You had a conversation before we even started.
Right, but Phil, also the thing is we been. So first of all, let's be real. And Nebraska is real. You're asking that question. So we all sat down at the Mall of Georgia, and we talked about the things we know. Phil was talking about his new podcast he was working on. He was inviting y'all today. You were talking about your music. We were all talking. So even for y'all to play into that Phil him X-Ron was that we're all at the table in our first introduction at the mall.
In the food court.
Nebraska, you was there. We was right next to us and we were talking.
I was late.
Nebraska, you was there before me.
No.
Nebraska, roll the camera back.
Make it happen.
Doing the little things.
Taking the move.
All the things.
DJ, I'm gonna text you, okay? Okay. You out? Huh? You leaving? I told you I'm home. Hell.
Good seeing you again.
I mean, it's good. All right.
Good seeing you again.
Happy Hooters.
I'm bored. If you can, come to Houston.
I'm bored.
When? I'm doing a launch party for the new LLC.
It's a road trip.
No,
it's right. It's a road trip.
I'm opening
road trip.
What's that, a 13-hour drive?
No.
First episode, we were all introducing each other, so that's still bullshit for you to still go with a narrative of why Kimura here. So we're all introducing each other. We're sitting at a table with cameras rolling, and we're saying what we're doing. We're inviting each other to different things, and we're talking.
But he's a star of the show. So we thought you was a friend of the show.
You make him a star of the show. And that's your problem. You want to keep focusing on Trey, making Trey problem. Trey has nothing to do with Kimura. You want to make him a star of the show so bad, and that's your problem. This has nothing to do with Trey. Perch your energy over here, because you keep wanting to go to him and bring his name up. Perch your energy to me, because that's what you keep doing.
Hold on. No shade though. The production was trying to make it seem like you was just like a friend of the show.
A friend of the show.
But y'all did remember that say everyone starts off as a friend of the show. If you want to be real, Me and him was both B-list cast members until we had that fight. That's when we became main cast members. That's the production gonna be real. Both B-list cast members until we had the fight.
But see, the thing is,
when we swung out, they made us main cast members.
Everybody
I didn't know he was a full-fledged cast
Thank
member
you.
until
everybody
the
starts
soccer
with the
team.
All right, but either way, it
We
goes
already
the
had
main
our
part of the story.
Alright,
If you
so-
saw me episode 1 with
understand
cameras
what you're
rolling,
saying.
The answer, make things clear.
if you saw me
Yes, the
episode
answer
1
right
with
there.
cameras rolling,
So
there should have
let's
never been a
finish
question
it.
of why is Kamori here.
Okay, wait.
How is
Let's-
a friend
pause.
of questioning a friend of?
Bitch.
Pause, hold on.
Everybody pause. Make sure that you say something about it's reality. It doesn't matter who's there. Like it's reality.
I
Like, why
did
y'all
say that,
worried
but
about
we
people running
will.
themselves? Please say that because I'm sick of this.
Hey, I'm
Because
glad
in my opinion, I just felt like you being there really wasn't an issue.
And okay, hold on.
wasn't an issue for me.
It wasn't. It shouldn't have been an issue because, like I stated at the beginning, this show is called On the Way Up Atlanta, and as production, as one of the producers, as an executive producer, as a line producer, we all come together and say these people, if they got together, they would create magic together. So it doesn't matter who we bring on. We can bring 1 million people on, and it's
Looking
honest.
at that now, though,
it's-
it makes sense.
yeah, and
Looking at
it-
now,
it's-
but I'm saying,
it's-
I wasn't thinking that in the moment.
Yeah, but it's honestly, hold on 1 second. It's pretty much is none of your business. Right, at the beginning, it's none of your business. Nebraska, she was brought in in somewhat of the middle of us doing production. We doing a lot of stuff before we even get to y'all. And I know that's nothing for y'all you don't have to understand that and have to know that. But when it's brought up, they always production. What I'm gonna do, because y'all got somebody different sitting in this chair now, that's my brother. And I know how much he put into this show. And I know his intent and what he's doing every day to make sure he wants to paint y'all in the best light ever. Every last one of y'all. And so when he's doing things, he's strategic about putting people together. I know they do music. I know he does film. I want her to act. It's all strategic about what y'all do in y'all careers, not what y'all do with drama, but then the drama overshadows it. So we have to talk about this. I get sick of talking about it too, but we here. And so we gonna keep going. We gonna wrap it up. Nebraska, you asked the perfect question, and you were there. You were meant to be there. Y'all were all meant to be there. Y'all are all meant to sit at this chair, in these chairs, and meant to be in this room. Nobody's bigger than the other. We all on the way up Atlanta. I'm still on the way up Atlanta. Yeah, yes, Trey Moore.
Because this conversation can be summed up in a very, very short manner. Every one of us in here has a job outside of music or whatever. This is a job. Showing up to this show, filming, is a job. In some way, shape, or form, you are compensated for that. Whether Devontae does photos, videos, whatever, you are compensated for that. The equivalent of showing up and being like, who brought you here, is the equivalent of going to your corporate job, going to the executive's office and asking him why there is a part-time employee or a temp face that you see in there. That man's gonna look at you like you crazy because you don't sign nobody's checks. Your name ain't at the head of nobody's executive nothing. So the fact that you're not in charge of anything, the conversation never should have taken place.
And I'm gonna say this, like, we gotta look at it both ways. You coming in, you don't know how this works. You don't know how production works. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes, because we're gonna be real here. We often cross the line as becoming your bosses and your friends. And those lines are often crossed with a lot of you. And so it's hard to decipher, am I your friend or am I your boss? And so all of you feel like you have a part in, I won't say all of you, a few of you feel like that you have a part in what goes on in production. And sometimes we give you a little taste and we give you a little more information than we should, because like you said, it is a job, but at the same time, we know we value your time. We value who you are as a person. So we kind of try to like keep you in the loop of what's going on without giving everything away. So for production, for the both of you, I apologize for the confusion, but this is reality TV. And you can't go on Bravo and ask Andy why Candy showed up. You know what I'm saying? So we get in there. So let's all be respectful of our jobs and our positions, and respectful to each other. And with that being said, we are going to move on to family. So a lot of you share different things about your families and the dynamics of your family. Let's take a look.
This is different my time. He's real strong-headed, but he is there for me. Because if it's something I want to do or something I believe in, whatever, can't nobody tell me nothing. no kind of way, one way or the other. And, you know, I'm proud of it, and I want to say that in front of everybody.
My mama looks fine as hell in this dress, okay? My mama is that girl.
Yeah.
Any though?
Terrence, your bad self. Then why she got a hold around? Look, he just
I had a rough childhood. I'm not gonna lie. I come from a big family, but I come from a family where I know everybody but my mother and father. I was in and out of foster home. Me and my siblings were in and out of foster home, roughly on and off for maybe 5 years. Foster care was rough. We got bounced around from house to house. I think I probably lasted maybe like 3 to 4 months per household.
Me going visit my dad in jail. My dad went to jail, I want to say, when I was 2 or 3 years old. My mom made it her mission at least once a month, no matter if he was in Florida, Texas, or what, to make sure I would go see my dad. My dad was the best dad in jail.
And I always tell people, my daughter looks at Atlanta, I'm so proud of her. She's following her dreams. And don't you ever feel less than anything. Because that takes a really strong person to do that. And I'm very, very proud of you, if I don't say it enough. Okay?
To hear my mom say how proud she is of me actually does help fuel my energy, because I just know it's so hard out here for artists in general.
Sonny has done more than people more older than I am. And she's gonna always be my Shay Shay.
I done did a lot out here. I done did everything under the name. I'm the special child.
Yeah,
you know,
but my beloved.
I can't choose a side when my child is the same as any other child. Choosing sides against the child is not we're given charge to take care of them. And if you can't, as a parent, follow that charge, then you are not doing your diligent duty.
But then, out of nowhere, Otis died. I felt like my life was over. I don't know, it's just, I don't know. I miss him.
I never thought you'd leave so soon. No, not ever. It's like I said in the song, life is not the same anymore.
I would tell my mom if she was in front of me that I still love her. I would be willing to work this out, but I want to get through some things first, ask some questions, figure some stuff out, and go into it with nothing but forgiveness.
Ebony, your mother is so beautiful. Looks like she could be your sister. How was it watching that scene play back for you?
It was very emotional, and it was kind of surreal watching that, because I feel like with that moment, being so vulnerable about being an artist and trying to curate your own career, it's like you feel like you're alone, but you're really not. And sometimes it could feel hard to open up, especially to family, because we think that they don't get it or they wouldn't understand. But I'm just glad that I had a family moment where they did understand, and it helped other people watching too.
Right. Are they more supportive now?
Yes. I wouldn't even say they were never supportive. It's just, I think that was more me like thinking, I have to get this done. And like, some things fall on the back burner. But I think I'm more attentive now as a family member of my own family.
Are you going home more?
Yeah, or I'm like talking more, like calling people, texting them, stuff like that.
That's good. That is really good. DJ, we love Mama Bertha, Miss AKA herself. How was it watching yourself on reality TV with your mother?
She would call me before every episode. You're not fighting on this episode, are you? I'm like, no, I don't do that. I'm too grand for that. But she definitely was very invested in this particular season, primarily because her son was on it. But her thing is, she has a connection with every cast member on this show just in watching them. And her thing is, well, how's Kamori? How's Brandon? How's Nebraska moved to Atlanta yet? So, she's very invested. She know these people. Y'all her babies. We her babies.
That's amazing. Sound like my mama Peaches.
Yes.
So, being brought up in the church and your mother being a minister, how does she feel seeing all your drama play out?
A lot of my drama she did not know about. Seeing some of my drama play out, it's definitely helped our relationship. She definitely understands me a little more. She understands my background a little more. She understands why I'm so sensitive when it comes to certain things, or why I'm so protective over certain people, or why I go to bat for certain people constantly. So I get a lot of that stuff, or a lot of those ways of how to properly treat people, and just communication, all of that. I get a lot of that from her, a lot of that nurturing. So it was an experience, but I think it's definitely helped our relationship more than anything.
So you had a moment that was very sentimental, where we got to see you visit your father's gravesite. How have you been able to process that after seeing it on air?
It's a day-by-day thing. It is a thing that over time you become okay. It's like I said, the 6-year anniversary is coming up, and for me, emotionally on that day, I just kind of try to surround myself with people that I love and do fun stuff, so I don't have to think about it. Because at the drop of a dime, you could be in a puddle of tears, and the next minute it's like, oh, okay, I'm fine now, I'm ready to go. But it ranges. It's a day-by-day thing. It's something that you never really get over. It's something that you just kind of learn to adjust and cope with. That's a pain I would never wish on anybody.
Right. Do you remember who was surrounding you at that time and moment of your life? You said it's been 6 years ago?
I was at work. So I was surrounded by patrons and coworkers. When I got home, first person that was crying on the doorstep was my roommate. And then when I went home, it was my family that was there. It was family that, I needed to see. It was family I didn't really care to see. But I was definitely surrounded by a lot of love, if nothing else.
Do you still lean on them for support when, like, knowing that we're approaching the anniversary of your father's death? Do you still lean on some of that family for support, or is it just because death, when it's someone close, it sticks with us, but everybody else is there in the moment, and then after a while it's like, oh, okay, well, I done brought the chicken over, they should be good by now.
No.
So do you still have those people that reach out to you and say, I know today is that day, how are you?
I still have those people that reach out to me, hey, I know today's the day, or I know it's coming up, are you okay, do you need something? I'm not gonna cry, but it's like, it's one of those things where you just kind of really, depending on the day, depending on who it is, that really determines what you get from me. I will say, as it leads up to that day, it does weigh on you. It's one of those things where it's like, oh shit, I know it's coming, But when it gets here, you just kind of you take your time. You be kind to yourself, and you allow yourself to process. You allow yourself to go through your process, and whatever it is, feel that.
Yeah, and you have to remember who was there, and remember it was maybe one person that you can lean on to process grief. It's stages of grief, and we all continue to grieve our loved ones that were very close to us. Trey, we love seeing that father-son moment with you and your dad. I feel like that was so important for us to show on the show, because I feel like Black men don't get enough credit for being great fathers. And to see how your dad embraced you. And I'm just going to be honest with some of the stories that people have within the community, the LGBT community, saying that fathers denied them or disowned them, or they had a hard time accepting them. To see your daddy love Trey for who he is. Where does your relationship stand with him today?
I just talked to my daddy a couple of days ago, actually. So we're good. It was tough because my parents went through a divorce, actually, recently, within about 3 years ago. So that was tough for me because they were my example. And so me and my mom being as close as we are, like, it kind of put a strain on me and my dad's communication. But we're in a good space now. And I mean, we were in a good space then, and I'm a lot like him. So the older I get, the more I'm hard-headed like him. I'm hard-working like him. I'm very determined. I don't take no for an answer. Like, if I want something, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna find a way. And that's the one thing that we connect over. And so, like, we good.
That's good. That's good. Miss Shay Shay, Sonny, your mama calls you Miss Shay Shay. Yes, the moment with you and your mother at your album release party was so very touching. How does it feel having that supportive family?
Just having support in general, it's kind of overwhelming. It makes me feel great. It makes me feel like, because that's what I'm doing it for. You know what I'm saying? My family, my friends, and, I just want us to get out the hood, goddamn it. I want us to live an actual luxury life because we fucking deserve it. And I'm willing to, you know what I'm saying, be that puppet or be that person to try to get us out of there. And just seeing my mama so happy of me and proud of me, because she didn't know, before this, she didn't even know I knew how to sing like this. I put out my album and she found out.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And so she was like, wow, like, you are actually very talented. And I was like, well, yeah, this is what you birthed.
That's awesome. And then it's like, if this is what you birthed, that means that talent is hidden within you in some sort. Maybe it was acting. And I feel like sometimes we are our ancestors and our parents' biggest dreams, like where they felt like their dreams had to die, is born within us. We're a generation of birth, and we're like, I can't let this singing and this being a musician just die in me. I gotta let it out, no matter who hears it. So that's just amazing to know that she's supportive of you chasing her dream, and then how you want to support her. And that is awesome to hear. So we were introduced to Phil's mom during the last reunion, and she kind of became everybody's mama.
You letting all these fucking looky-loos and the people who think they got any goddamn thing in your life to run what you do. You don't let people take you out of your character. You don't let folks take what's here and give it to somebody else.
And hopefully she's doing well. We know that she's out there and she's taking great care of Phil, and we have you both in our prayers. But Brandon, you warmed our hearts with your story, and sorry about all the things that happened to you. And growing up, it's so very unfortunate, and you keep speaking about your mother and how you go when you are looking for her and searching for her for years and still have yet to find her. How hard was that for you to share?
It was very hard. I didn't even think I can share it. You know what I'm saying? I never really shared anything with anybody like that. I always kept shit on my shoulders and just rolled with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was pretty hard.
And I'm sure it was. And I tell y'all all the time, and Devontae can cut some of this stuff out. Y'all all mean so much to me, everybody that's been on this show. And my son, Gavin, is adopted. And when I watched your story, Devontae had mentioned it to me, but it didn't stick with me. And I saw Gavin. I saw my son. And I was like, one day he's going to grow up. And no matter who I was to him, he's going to be out there and he's going to want to know where he came from. And I just began to feel you in a different light. You became a little boy to me. And I think that a lot of times it's little Brandon, little Ebony, little Nebraska, little DJ, little Trey, little Mayday, little Sonny, little Phil, little Kamori that is inside of us. We've been hurt so much that it's like we take it out on everybody else that is around us. And from hanging out with you, I realized that you are something different than what I saw with Kamori and what happened and what transpired. And I feel like that you sharing that is going, even though you haven't gotten the results you wanted by finding your mom, you're helping other little boys. I'm hoping that my son can go back and watch that scene one day and be bold enough to know that it may or may not be resolved, but you can be okay. You can still be great. Because you are great. You're still moving along and you're doing your thing in music. And hopefully your mom sees it. And she comes and it'll never be too late. Keep your heart postured to let her in. And I'm sorry for that. Yes, go
I absolutely kind of like relate to that because, at the age of 25, I found out who my real father is. You know what I'm saying? For the longest, I thought another man was my father, and then I hated the wrong man for pretty much all of my life, and all my acts, my choices and things like that, I compared it to him. Like, well, you know what? Maybe this is where I get it from. So, I tried to compare, and then when I found out who my real father is, that shit, it really do help you figure out who you are. And damn, I'm about to cry. Fuck. So, for the longest I grew up masculine. I had to handle things. I had to be the strong one. You know what I'm saying? I was the one that my sisters called when the shit had to get handled. You understand what I'm saying? And so just finding out who my father was and where all my music abilities, who my brother was, that shit made me feel like a little girl again, and it fixed a little part of me to make me be able to walk out in this world and live in my feminine energy, fearless. Because you may not know that you need this shit, but you need it. You need your father, and that's something that was missing inside of me, and now that I got that back, it made me feel like, man, I could conquer the world, and my father here is here to help witness it, and my protector now. I don't have to be strong like that no more. You feel me?
And that is, I'm glad that you punched that in. And this, for me, is why I wanted to host this reunion when I was asked, because these people have different layers. They're more than these artists that you see, and they're more than these event planners that you see. They have so many layers, and keeping it real, sometimes people relate more to that. I don't care if only 2 people view this reunion. I want this reunion to be so real that somebody walk away and they have deliverance. They have deliverance. It's not easy doing what y'all do. It's not easy persevering through all the things that every last one of y'all have been through, and y'all continue to do it. That's what On the Way Up Atlanta is. That's what it's about. We got mixed in the sauce of all the drama and just having to do it for the viewers, but at the end of the day, we still try to stay very authentic to who y'all are as people, not reality TV stars. So I appreciate you for being vulnerable and sharing that story, because some other little girl, some other little boy feels just like you, and they can watch this show. And it's not just a LGBT community show. This is a show for actors, future singers, future book writers. This is for them. This is for them. And y'all are so amazing. And we're gonna continue to move forward. And this is a very, very heavy conversation. And but while we're in this moment in Nebraska, you talked a little bit about losing your mom and your fiance back to back. And you opened up about that very little. And how do you continue to push forward and do this in memory of them and also for your children?
Can I put this? Well, first off, what I didn't really say on the show is I lost my mom, my great granny, and my fiance, and within less than a year. A lot of personal stuff kept happening. I got sick, had to have surgery. So yeah, I had a lot of stuff going on, and it's like every single day I just want to quit. Like every day I want to quit. But the moment I look into them kids' eyes, I can't quit. There's no quitting when you have children. There's no quitting when you have family that's dependent on you. Even though a lot of my family members and I don't talk to them. We barely talk. They don't support me, or whatever the case may be. It's, at the end of the day, somebody has to break that cycle in the family.
Yes.
Somebody. Like, I am one of the few out of both sides of my family. It's probably about 3-4 of us together that has a college degree. Like, I'm the only, not the only one, but I am one of the only ones that don't do drugs. I'm one of the only ones that got a great job. I keep a job. I'm getting paid real nice. Like I'm really one of the only ones. So it's like I have to keep going. Like there is no stopping. So yeah, life keeps hitting me in the face. It does, but I have to just push it to the side, keep my peace, focus on what I'm trying to do for me and mine, and just keep God first. That's number one thing. You gotta keep God first. When you put your situations in God's hands, and it feel good. I don't know about y'all, but it feel good.
Always make a way and always right on time. It's
always on time.
Y'all better preach on this
sure.
on the way up platform.
Man, look.
You're gonna make me shout in here. DJ, give me a tune.
After the reading.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's pretty much it. Like no matter what life throws at you, don't nobody have you like you.
Like you got you.
So at the end of the day, don't be scared. All it takes is just one little step. And just keep going. Keep going through the day. Your bills due. Just do what you gotta do.
Right.
Kids need some. Make sure you get it. You gotta be selfish too. Like you can't. I ain't afraid to talk about it. Like I smoke weed. I be smoking weed. I do. I ain't cap. But what people don't know is I have went months without even buying it. Like there's that much money I'm saving for just not even buying weed. Money that go to my kids, go put gas in my car, pay a bill, go towards the studio, or whatever the case may be. Like it's little stuff like that you have to be really strong-minded about to keep going.
So discipline.
And it takes a lot of discipline. And you have to, like, when we choose to get up and say, okay, we're going to chase this dream, it's some days we have to realize we're going to have to sacrifice big time. And it means not buying some of the things you really like or you feel like is a coping mechanism for you. Like, we can be. And then it is. And you know, you like, I'm not even going to do that because I want my studio time. I want to buy my son some shoes. And everybody is not willing to make that sacrifice. They say, many are called, but few are chosen. And you know, so you be like, well, they so talented, why didn't they make it? It's because they're not willing to make some of the sacrifices that we all sit up here and say, okay, we're gonna do this. Sacrifice some time with my relationship, my family, my kids. I'm gonna travel, put miles on my car. Everybody's not willing to do that. And speaking on family and sacrifices and everything like that, Kamora, you touched a little bit about your father and y'all's relationship. Has that changed or gotten any better, or did seeing yourself on the show share things about your father, did it encourage you, maybe I should reach out to him? And
So, speaking of me and my father's relationship, our stuff was past history of what we had to go through. So for me, my dad went to jail when I was, I think, 1. He came home when I was 13. So a lot of my informed years of me learning who I am and figuring things out, he was gone. I still saw him. He was a dad through the phone. Like, I'm not gonna, like, he was in jail, but my dad was there through his phone. Like, he would stay on the phone while I'm doing my homework, doing my hooked on phonics. He's on the phone, me doing summer break while I'm doing my mom, maybe inside doing hooked on phonics or whatever. Anyway, a lot of his issues was he blamed himself for who I am, and I think it took a lot for him to get out his own way to like really truly see me and for us to build our relationship.
so are y'all better now? Do y'all?
I just talked to my daddy this morning.
Okay, so y'all good.
We've been, for the past 2 years, we have been constantly talking, checking in with each other. When I went home last time, I went hang out with him, went to dinner. So yeah.
That's good. So did you mention to him, if you don't mind me asking, mention to him like, it's okay, you don't have to blame yourself for who I am?
Right, so we finally had the conversation, and so what a lot of people don't know, and I think my dad was trying to die, on his side of the family, we really suffer with mental disability. So on that side, the bipolar disorder is really big on my dad's side of the family. So it's just for him to really finally accept that and get the help that he needed with that, and then work through those problems, he was able to see like, wow, I'm already missed 13 years of my son's life. I can't get on my own when he's a fully adult living life. Like I told my dad, like you can't even tell me my best friend name is. Like you don't know anything about me. So now he has really pushed himself out the way and found what he needed to do to be a better father. Like he can tell you who my friend name is. I just had to call him yesterday to go down to City Hall and get my birth certificate from my home because I lost mine. I don't know how. But anyway, so I'm glad we're in a place now where we can talk and really have that relationship.
And that's good you extend that grace. You know, that's very important to extend the grace of like, Dad, you didn't make me this person, but I also love you enough to say you need to get a little help, then come back.
Well, for me, like family, and because I experienced more loss than I think any other human should. Because I think Nebraska, I feel where she coming from. I experienced loss back to back. Not my biological dad, but the dad that adopted me, that raised my stepfather, my mom's husband. He died right before my dad came home. He died in a bad car accident. The next month, my uncle died. Then the month after that, my god brother died. So like, experienced loss at a quick back to back. Like me and my family have experienced that. So as when we say we take each other very serious and how family and friends mean so much to me, that's how I'm so serious on them too. For me, family, especially when I bring you into my circle in my life, when you get a part of that, we're locked in, and I don't really fuck with any kind of weird shit on that part. Because when I open my family to you in my heart, you're a part of me. So yeah, that's how I just feel about that.
Well, I hope you open your door to me because I want to go to New Orleans and eat some good old Creole food.
You know I love you. You know you come back. You want to catch me from Autograph? You down there?
I just want to be on Bourbon Street. I want to be on Jerry B.
Yes, we going to Nebraska. Mayday. So the fans love your relationship. And when we come back, we're going to bring Jair up. We'll be right back with more On the Way Up Atlanta.
Jair. You can follow me on Instagram, that's Jair Things. And this is my first single, it's called Choking These Nuts, and I asked Black to be a part of it. Yeah, Choking These Nuts.
So, I'm watching and I'm just proud and he's killing it. It's amazing to be able to celebrate, your anniversary just because things nowadays, everybody's kind of crazy and, people say the dating pool is crazy. So I'm just blessed that I got a chance to find my person and we can actually have a time outside of just the city and really just get a chance to express our love together.
I tend to get over it. I was like, whoever follow me, that's for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's either you get with you a real fan, you're gonna support me in everything I do, not just because I'm a musician and I'm sexy doing it. Right.
And I'm not gonna stop doing that part of it.
Yeah.
My boyfriend is also part of this project. He's also a very, very talented musician here in Atlanta now, and we're both gonna be heading to the listening party. We have a listening party for this compilation album that we put together, and it's a bunch of amazing music, and I just cannot wait to walk in there and see the vibes. I got friends coming. It's gonna be amazing.
Jair, so glad you look so beautiful.
He was killing them fast.
Yes. So your trip to Puerto Rico, a very much needed trip, seemed like. How was that?
Oh, that was wonderful. That was celebrating our anniversary at the time, and it was great. It was really a time for us to affirm our bonds together and explore outside of the country together, have a lot of firsts. It was really, really romantic. I had a great time. The food was amazing. Yeah, we just had a wonderful, wonderful time.
Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Yeah,
it was
love and good vibes. I know it was amazing. So, I know you both said that it was a much needed trip, and to rekindle and also celebrate your love. How is it dating another musician and you being a musician yourself?
It's actually very inspiring. He inspires me a lot. He's very hardworking, very self-driven, and we bounce ideas off of each other. I like to think we inspire and excite each other about our careers. So it's a very big bonus and positive to have my partner be an artist as well.
That's great, and a phenomenal artist.
Phenomenal.
You can say, "Hey, I got a beat 1, 2 in my head," and he can make it
And
happen.
he has.
Right?
And he
Right.
has.
That's
And he
amazing.
has stepped in to help me. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, Mayday, you were on tour. So how was that for you?
The tour was it was cool, I guess, because it kind of came out of nowhere. You know, like I wasn't necessarily supposed to go, but it was I enjoyed it because it was the first time I got a chance to really go back since like the pandemic. You know, like performing in front of that many people for the first time in like 2 years. So it had been a minute for sure.
So you just packed your bags and jumped around for the job. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It was a lot because a lot of times, I don't know if y'all know, but these calls and stuff usually are like day before calls.
Right.
So like it was, I think it was a less than 24-hour period for me to make my decision, pack my stuff, and get on the tour bus to go. It was like that. That's how quick it happened.
And so it's very important to have somebody supportive and understands your line of work. But you're also a musician, as I mentioned, and you debuted one of the Black's release party. How was that for you?
Oh, that was awesome. So yes, I put out my first single. It's called "Choking These Nuts," and it's really a upbeat song, but it's actually more talking about affirming yourself. And it was in a moment of confusion with a guy that's not him, before him. And it's about affirming yourself in that moment and realizing, like, if this person is not for you, then be for yourself, basically. And yeah, it was a wonderful time to perform at a Black's release party. I had a great time. People were very receptive to it. Everyone wants to hear what it sounds like once I tell the title. So that's a good plus. Yeah, it was great. It was a really great time.
Good. And we also saw you guys go on a double date with other cast members. How was that?
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I think we had a conversation about it prior, like when I first got a chance to really like meet them. You know, the first time we met was a little crazy. So we didn't get a chance to really like hang out. So I wanted to make sure, because you don't see a lot of couples. You know, in the queer community, it's very hard to have successful couples, and I mean, just those genuine connections that you can meet off somebody like that. You know, especially in the queer community, it's just more difficult. So that was important that we got a chance to actually have that moment.
And if I remember correctly, I think I won.
I don't think so.
I think I won.
Was it fun? No, I very much lost. But I don't know.
I think I won.
Yeah, I'm pretty competitive too. So.
Are y'all competitive?
I'm competitive, yeah.
Against each other, even in the relationship?
No.
I mean, like when it comes to games and things like that.
Oh, yeah, like silly, like stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm more competitive with you in like the bowling on Switch Sports.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like bowling or tennis on the Switch. Like we're very competitive with that.
We don't compete anywhere else besides video games.
Good relationships don't last unless you beat each other ass. Even if it's in games.
Yeah, in games. Let's talk about games.
Yeah, let's say games.
Okay.
We don't want to people to take that wrong. Sunny and Ebony, you truly did become a fan fave couple.
I'm first.
All right, rock, paper, scissors.
We always do this.
I'm super excited to go and perform at Club 840, Woman Crush Wednesdays.
I'm just that type of person. Everyone could be quiet and I'll be the only one screaming for who I love. Like, yes, you better go, because that's what we need in this life. We need people that really genuinely love us and encourage us, and I'm not afraid to look a fool to do it.
Today we are meeting at the Social House Atlanta, where we're going to discuss our goals for 2022 as well as reflect on 2021. It's our year, we have to do it.
Hell yeah, solidify that partnership. You You know what I'm saying? When she said yes, I mean, I kind of knew she was gonna say yes, because after all of that, how could you say no? So I was just felt like overwhelmed with just joy and just ready to go on this journey with her.
How was that for you, Sonny, coming up with the proposal and saying, hey, I want the cameras to also follow this?
Yeah, it was just me being, you know, I'm very romantic, you know. I got, you know, Libra in my Venus, and I just felt like that with her, she deserves some type of grand gesture. She's a grand woman. She's a great person, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ain't never did anything like that before. So with her, I wanted to, you know, be different and propose that kind of way to be my girlfriend.
Yeah, I've never been proposed to for a girlfriend ever, so that was cool.
And it was cute. It was so thoughtful.
Yeah, because I love figuring stuff out. So the fact that it was like a scavenger hunt, it was like my nerdy senses were tingling. It was like amazing.
So how was it watching the show back, viewing your relationship on TV?
It was different for sure, because I feel like both of us, we're artists and we're usually in our own thing, but to like see us as a couple and come together, it definitely was also inspiring, because I know she's an artist, she's a music artist, and I also like to produce, whether it be music videos or whatever. So I felt like I really wanted to help her, and to see myself do that, it definitely gave teamwork, and it was really fun.
That's amazing. That is great. So how is the relationship today? We all know that you go through those, that first year newlywed, whatever, even though it was a girlfriend proposal. How has the relationship been since the proposal? How is it today?
I'll let you answer first.
I gotta let me answer. Okay, so you know, with every relationship, we go through things. And you know what I'm saying, mental health is definitely a big part of being in a relationship as well. So we go through our little bumps and our bruises and things like that. But you know what I'm saying, I have to love her through whatever she's going through. No matter what she's dealing with, you gotta love them and just be there for them in the best way you can. So I want to say that it's always just easy and it's just, you know, rose petals and oranges, all that. You know, we go through shit. And, you know, sometimes we have a very hard time. But I feel like now where we at right now, it's like it did nothing but bringing us closer and making us love each other a lot more harder.
Everything that you'd like to?
Yeah. So I guess what she's also referring to is just for the past couple of months, I felt like I have been struggling with my mental health. And like, you know, as an individual, it's easier to like try to figure it out for yourself. But when you're in a relationship and when you're with someone else, it's kind of like you don't want to like push that onto them, or you don't want that to rub off on them. So I really do appreciate Sonny for even like trying to understand or trying to go through it, because it's like it's very difficult as an individual, but when you have like love there, it really, really helps.
Yes, love conquers all, right? True love conquers all. It's amazing to see that you are still standing and that you got through that, and also taking care of yourself and your mental health. That's very important. Okay, so now we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be back with more On the Way Up Atlanta. So we all know that a lot of music was shared, a lot of music was created on this show, but the biggest one that was talked about the most was the diss track. Brandon Bando Kane, why did you feel the need to go out of your way and make a diss track about someone that you barely knew and had only one negative encounter with? Were you clout chasing?
No, not at all. I was really just minding my business, ready to drop what I originally planned to drop, and then I heard some shade thrown and being talked about. So I let my ego get in the way, and I dropped a fucking diss track before I could drop my own shit. But yeah, that's what it was.
So-
I was not looking for clout or nothing like that. I mean, you gotta benefit off of clout. I'm still broke off of it.
Okay then. So,
apparently
but
uneducated as well.
now looking back,
What was that?
And apparently uneducated as well,
Oh,
because
am I?
clout doesn't automatically mean money. So let me help you
Okay,
out.
whatever.
3 or 4 of those episodes, my face didn't appear. You sat there and talked about me. Those views were generated by me and your conversation. That's
You gotta have
clout,
something to
baby
talk
boy.
about. Something to
My
talk
name
about.
was the subject of your
Something to talk
conversation.
about.
That is something to
It was
talk
brought
about.
up. It was talked about. It is what it is. Hey.
all
It
right,
was a year
now
ago.
we're gonna move
Clout.
on. So, but being honest with yourself and being honest with your fans, now looking back at it and watching it play out on television, do you wish you would have led with Nasty, the song Nasty?
Nasty wasn't even the lead song, but I just wish I would have did it differently. I definitely do. I would have dropped my own shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I said. I let my ego get in the way. But other than that, no, I don't regret it at all. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I definitely would have dropped another song first. I was minding my business, but people got so much mouth. So I let my ego get in the way of that.
My nigga, I never said shit about you. So what mouth is it that you're talking about?
Bro, I mean, on
never
social
said
media, bro, it
shit
was off the show.
between-
Like, you're a behind the scene ass nigga.
You
know what I'm
are
saying? So you
slow.
do shit off the show.
You are
You do
slow.
shit on Instagram and
You
make
are
posts and shit
slow.
like that. So I responded to it.
You
That's
are
it. I dropped my
slow.
track
There was nothing
before I
to
dropped my own
respond
shit.
to.
They both still got dropped. So
Nothing to
it doesn't matter.
respond to.
All right, well, moving forward. So, it's been said that you were clout chasing, and people felt like you were clout chasing. You always refer to Trey, as he brought up, you always bringing him up, and his name is the topic of conversation. You refer to him as Crop Top. Why do you continue?
It's just a jab. I don't have a problem with people wearing crop tops. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have friends that wear crop tops and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It was a bar. It was a line. We artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put that in my music. It was a bar. It was a line. It was nothing. I don't have anybody. Nothing against people that wear crop tops and shit like that. I wasn't.
But you continue to refer to him as Crop Top.
Because we don't fuck with each other. We beef it. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with him. So if I'm gonna call him what I call him. You can call me what you
Please
call
say
me.
it
I'm not
louder.
gonna be,
Please
be
say
mad
it
about
louder.
it.
I need you to say it
I'm
so
good.
that it comes from somebody
I don't fuck
other
with
than
him.
me.
I don't fuck with him. I'm on and off camera. I'm not the type that, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers be on these shows and shit like that, and they be beefing with each other, and then get off camera and go smoke a blunt and be chilling and shit. No, that's what it is. What it is. He shaded me. He acted like he didn't know me, and he met me plenty of times. The whole season 2, cast knows me. He acted like he didn't know me.
I didn't.
You did. You never met me at all. You said you never met me. You wanna
Now
see the proof?
I
You
can
wanna see
vouch
it?
for that
I
because
got
I was
plenty
there.
videos.
I was
Like, what are
there
you
for
talking
one of
about,
those
bro?
events. Y'all know each other.
You
Y'all-
making it seem
y'all
like I'm
may
this
not
random
know- Y'all
person
may not
that
be
just
as close
walk up
as
and try
or
to
have
clout
a
chase
rapport,
you and
but
come
you
at
do
you and
know
shit.
him.
Like, bro,
Let's
real
not do
shit.
that.
Like,
I don't know him.
Okay,
You
so
did
this my
me
thing.
know
Well,
him.
hold on,
And
hold
how
on.
are
You
you
do
inside?
because I was
You know
there
what?
and I
My
know
point,
that, and
once
that's why I'm
again, has
saying
just
like
been
if you
proven,
didn't
and I
know him,
didn't
why are
even
you
have to
entertaining
open my
somebody you
fucking
don't
mouth.
know? Make that make
I
sense.
didn't even have to open my
I got
fucking
4
mouth.
videos.
and my
So we
point
can
proven
definitely
right
just
there.
settle this right now. Did Trey, did you and Brandon meet before the Christmas party? Once, twice, 3, don't matter. Did y'all meet before the Christmas party?
I don't remember meeting him.
You met Ebony one time. No shade to Ebony. It's based off memory loss. You met Ebony one time.
Says who?
You met Ebony one time, but you remember her.
Says who?
I'm gonna kick it with you in 4 different
Says you didn't
events in
kick
4
shit
different
with me.
motherfucking clubs.
You didn't kick
Bro, what's
shit
this?
with me.
What's this? All these videos right here. You.
What are you talking?
You.
Oh, where we're filming. Where
I
we're
kicked it
filming.
with y'all
You
plenty
ain't
of
kick
motherfucking
shit
times.
with me.
What are you talking about?
That shit is production.
Shut up.
That is work for me, motherfucker. I don't know
Okay,
you.
Maybelline, shut up.
All right,
Maybelline.
calm down.
The fuck you gonna? You
So-
have some
Okay,
nerve to
Maybelline.
sit here and
Okay,
talk about me
okay.
just in the way you look.
You ain't
Okay,
gonna
calm
talk
down.
to her. It's
Let's
all
go.
good.
Let's go. Let's
Beef.
bring it
I don't
down.
beef with you,
Let's bring it
motherfucker.
down.
I don't know
Okay,
you.
girl.
Let's bring it down. So y'all were introduced to each other at other events.
No,
Plenty
we
of
were
times.
not. We
So-
were in the same vicinity based on no
I had a
videos.
whole 15-minute conversation with this man at the motherfucking at Blues party 2 years ago.
The Christmas
Christmas party.
at Blues House.
I came there not with Mayday, but we had a scene where we linked up in the hallway and went and introduced ourselves to everybody and shit like that. I had a conversation with this man on the patio for 15 minutes. I told him that I was a fan at first. I'm the one that had a whole different IG account before it got hacked. I was the one that always, when he went live, hey, I like this song. I'm reposting the song, giving you shout outs and shit like that. When we finally met at the Christmas party, he recognized who I was, and that was that. Plenty of times after that, we went to so many events.
So you basically been butthurt for the whole year and so angry.
I
because
wasn't.
he didn't
I'm
know
not
you?
butthurt, my nigga.
So wait,
I'm
no,
not butthurt.
you have been butthurt. So you have been butthurt for an entire year because Trey didn't know you from a 15-minute conversation.
No,
over a
I'm
year
not
or two
butthurt.
ago.
He's
I'm going on
playing
what the fuck you
delusional
just
like
said.
you never met me.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
what
Your
gets me.
best friend played delusional like he didn't know me, and I didn't care that fucking long. A bitch had you had a 15-minute conversation.
Okay, hold on. I feel like he can't feel some type of way. I don't think it's that serious.
Yeah,
you
I just can't get out of that feel, please.
This is some real ass shit, Trey.
But like 15 minutes.
1, 2, 3 times before.
So
and
I'm gonna help it right now.
Can
So
I
no.
Can I respond?
Wait a
Can I
minute.
respond to
No.
Nebraska at least?
No. Wait. Everybody, calm down. So
Bye, Revlon.
earlier we asked the question about Phil not knowing
I can take this
Kamari.
makeup off.
And you said
And I
that you
still
had met
find
him.
Exactly.
We had auditioned.
He know you.
Oh,
Wait.
I let
right?
the
He
difference
know
between you is that's so petty and minute.
know
I
you.
let
He
that go.
know
I
you.
don't
He
care.
know you.
Right.
That's minute.
But
like,
you
think
said-
I'm a beat for the bitch and take my time and spend money in the studio to go make a song about
bedroom.
a bitch that don't whatever the fuck it was.
It don't have
Closet
a
bedroom,
bedroom,
closet,
closet,
storage
motherfucker.
unit.
My
Whatever
work
the fuck
ethic
it
is
was.
better than yours, this motherfucker. See,
I'm sorry,
you
guys.
ain't
Your what? Better than what?
You ain't nothing but a karaoke song.
Let's go.
Oh, you're talking to him because I'm like, yeah, no.
So earlier I asked you the question, how did you feel when Phil acted like he didn't know you? You said it was very shady, and this happens a lot in the community. So now that it's Brandon and it's Trey, it's a different outcome, and they met more than just an audition. I saw it twice. Where wait. So I can wait a minute. So y'all had met a few times before. Y'all had spoke with each other a few times before. So did you feel like it was shady when he was acting like, do I know you?
Yes, it was shady. He said it's not even about knowing me. You don't have to know me. He said he never met me at all. We've met plenty of times, bro. So you making it seem like, make me look crazy, like I came on the show to look clout and just came on the show to fight with Trey and pick up Phil's battles and come at you like, bro, no, you know what the fuck you were doing. You ran with this regular comment. You ran with a regular comment because you have nothing else going on, bro. You ain't got nothing else going on for the show for this season but a fucking play.
I don't have any.
So I guess your motherfucking light was dwindling down. So you had to attach yourself to a regular comment.
I'm asking
like
you
for real, that's stupid as fuck, bro. You making me look
that's the
bad
whole
on
point
like
I'm
that
trying
shit
to say.
crazy.
If somebody act like they don't know me, ain't never met me, then I'm gonna chuck that shit up.
No, I get that, but he was throwing shots at me though.
You
He was throwing shots at me.
Maybelline and Revlon.
That's now. I'm talking about in the moment back a year ago.
Stop! I told you back then that you need to chill
I'm
out.
just saying, but all I'm saying is,
because
in
if
the
y'all
moment,
was to get the fight, somebody get hurt or go to jail, you fucking up your brand.
that's
You
all
fucking up
facts.
his
You
brand.
told me
It's
that
not
plenty of
that
times.
serious.
You told me that plenty of times. You have.
And I'm
I can
sitting
say
here
that.
talking to him.
I can say that, but I'm just saying, I'm only going off what's in the moment. I'm going off what's in the moment back a year ago. I'm responding to that. So.
I'm telling you right now, friend. Like
It's there. I mean, we gotta get through it. We gotta talk about it.
I mean, I know we gotta
After
talk
this is
about
done,
it.
I'm not worried about this shit no
side
more.
comments that gotta stop,
I'm not worried about
man.
this shit no
Like
more.
you steady checking this man. Like stop checking.
He's a fucking bully.
I'm not a bully.
You're a fucking bully.
I'm not.
That's what he is. I'll call it what it is. He's a fucking bully.
I'm not a
You go
bully.
at people who don't say that boy don't tell you a motherfucking thing.
I'm
You
not
may
a
say-
bully.
The amount of animosity and what you do off camera and what you have done towards this person, bitch, you're a bully.
What
But
have I
you
done
playing
towards
with
this
the right
person?
fucking people. You're a bully.
What have I done to this person?
You're a bully.
Let's
And
talk
that's
about it.
the
What have I
spirit.
done?
You're a bully. But let me tell you something.
Trey.
Keep that
Let me-
same energy
what
with the
have I
right
done?
fucking
let's-
people.
let's-
Because
let's-
I don't play with
hold
bullies
on,
at
right there.
all.
That's my
Because
thing
I'm
right
sorry,
there.
and y'all and nobody else talk about it. We know what the young man has done off camera and what he has continually done.
Let's go. What has Brandon done to you this season that we may have not saw on camera?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna address what Kamori said about the whole meeting people, not meeting people, and I'm gonna respond to Nebraska because everybody got to respond for Trey except Trey, and I'm sitting right here. I go out me and my friends go out on a regular basis, probably 5-6 nights a week. We run into people all the time. Gary has been out and seen me out places all the time. It's not uncommon that I run into people, see them, and don't see them, and keep it moving. It ain't shit personal. There are people I meet 2 and 3 times before I ever remember their name. I don't forget people's faces. I remember that boy. He was not somebody I remember. And I'm not gonna apologize for it because he wasn't a factor. I don't care. There's that. So first of all, there's that, number one. Number two, this whole narrative of I don't have anything going on this season because I'm not doing anything musically. I present myself as a singer, and an actor. And while I was doing that stage play, I have another one coming up. Jussie Smollett just directed a TV show that I'm on Here TV. Like, and that show just got renewed and picked up. So once this strike is over, we'll be back filming again. Like, please don't sit here and attempt to peddle a narrative that I'm not working when you can go look my shit up. There's that. Second of all, this whole Brandon, you ran up on me in the gym, dude, when I was by myself with you having 3 other people talking about, oh, you gonna do something. Brandon, let me be clear.
I did not have 3 other
Hold
people
on.
with me. You are
Everybody.
You are
Once again,
lying now.
first of all, you are
You definitely
intellectually inept.
You
Let's
definitely
start
lying.
there.
We're gonna talk about the fact that you called security for the LA Fitness because I was by myself
I didn't
and
call
approached
security.
you.
I didn't
You
call
even
security.
called 2 reinforcements.
I
What are you
did not
talking
call security. I was already on the phone when it happened.
Boy,
First
shut
of
up.
all,
Okay,
and
go
my
ahead.
friend pulled
Go
up.
ahead.
I don't need to call
he pulled
security.
up. Okay.
All them know.
You got on the phone.
The manager knows me, my nigga.
Pulled up with the motherfucking
I
managers
didn't
and shit,
need
trying
to
get you
have
kicked out.
somebody pull up.
Because I asked you
Brandon, you
today,
have
today
tried
you gonna slap
everything
me.
under the
It's today
sun
today?
to
It's today
get
today?
everything under the sun to get a reaction out of me. I'm not
I
going
walked up to you politely
hold
and
on. I am
said,
not
"You gonna slap me?"
going
That's
to
it.
jail
That
behind
was
a
it.
40-year-old
That was
man
it.
sitting on a
That
reality
was
show
it.
who
40.
waits to release a diss
40.
track 8 years after not doing music.
Yeah, 40.
You brought your dumb ass on this platform. And when you could have been talking about your
Maybelline.
personal stuff,
Maybelline.
and yes,
Yeah, stop
I
it.
look damn
Stop
good with
it.
the makeup
Stop
and
it.
damn good without it. I
Stop
look
it,
damn
baby.
good with a shirt
Stop
on
it,
and
baby.
damn good without one.
Stop
And
it,
bitch,
baby.
you
tied
bad
and through
because
it,
you
baby.
don't.
You tied and through
Let's
it.
start there.
You ain't got
Second
no
of all,
storyline, bro.
second
We
of
got so
all,
many
there is so
storylines.
much
All
shit
them
you
kids.
could have called.
You hit some kids,
There is
didn't
so
you?
much
You
shit.
check
There is so
check
much.
kids today.
Ain't nobody hit no goddamn
You say you hit some
kids,
teenagers,
dumb
didn't you?
bitch. Ain't nobody hit no
Okay.
teenagers.
You got-
You there
you
is,
have to
hold
let
on.
them go to the
There is
gym and
plenty of
have
shit.
to- No.
Hold on. There is
hey.
so much shit he could have addressed on this show, but he used my name
Okay.
to build his storyline. And I'm gonna go to jail over fighting him when he is nobody. To me, you are no fucking body. And I
You ain't got no
mean,
insurance.
Okay, let's
ugly ass
What's in your
motherfucker.
wallet, bitch?
hey, let's
And
calm
there we have it,
down.
ladies and gentlemen. Devontae has done his charity work for the year. He put community service bitches on this show. Next time on The Way Up Atlanta. Because you ain't nothing but a fucking roach you got through the cracks.
What kind of game? That was kickball. They caught the ball. First of all, look, I swear, and y'all can go back and watch it. The rule changed every time.
Every time I took that advice and I stopped looking for people who don't check for me.
A lot of that situation to me could have been avoided. I mean, I will say for sure, you know, we had a completely different idea of why we were there.
Hey, Queen. Hey, King.
How you doing?
He's like, I'm running this shit.
You run this shit. I'm tired of these children.
Devontae Lamont.